Well, hello there, and welcome to day number 40 of Van Cam. Okay, I'm done with that voice. Yeah, it's day 40, so I missed quite a few days, obviously, but in that period, I was back in Lyon for a week. Since I last spoke to you, me and Norse continued traveling, and then we went up to Les Sept-Lourds to go skiing with some friends for the weekend, which was really cool, and then we were back in Lyon. And now I've been back in the van for a few days on my own, which has been interesting. Yeah, I've done a lot of driving. I haven't gone that far though. Like the small roads in Italy are really slow, and I'm going along like the northwest coast, and it's crazy. Today, like Google Maps told me 3 hours, and it took me 7. Obviously, I stop all the time as well. But yeah, what have I been up to? A couple of days ago, I was like I slept in the national park of Verdun, which is like I think it's the deepest gorge in Europe, and that was beautiful. And then it started raining the next day, as per usual. So I was still up in the mountains. And then yesterday, hey, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It was beautiful. Yesterday I made it my way down past Monte Carlo, past Monaco, and then into Italy. And the place that I stayed last night was called something Italian. That's pretty bad. I don't remember. We'll like cut, and then I'll remember what it is, or I'll just put it there. Yeah, there we go. That's a better answer. Yeah, and then like I said, oh yeah, so last night I like parked up near a port, and I was just like chilling, and then I met these 2 Italian guys. There was just no English being spoken. They just could not speak English. I tried French as well. That didn't work. But they were entertaining. And then they were like, you should come back to our place for drinks. Like, our girlfriends are waiting there, and we've got some friends coming over. I was like, okay. But I was like, I can't drive my van though, because I've had a couple of drinks, because we were like sitting on the beach drinking. And the guy's like, no, come on my scooter. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm excited to go like scootering like on these crazy windy roads. He's like, it's only 2 minutes away, and I'll take you back here like afterwards. I was like, okay, why not? And it was not 2 minutes away. It was like a good like 15, 20 minutes, but it was a fun ride. But when we got there, they like, turns out they're cousins, and they both live with their mother, with one of their mothers. I still don't know who it was. And their girlfriends were there, but it was like, come on in for a drink with like our family. And it was just basically like me explaining who I am and why I was there to like different family members. And then he's like, there was nothing to be said. So the guy's like, do you want to go home? I was like, yeah, if you don't mind. But it was very nice of them. Yeah. And then today, I just got to driving again. I drove most of today, actually, along these beautiful roads, and there was like a landslide in a tunnel, so there was a whole section of the road cut off, and it was like you have to go by the freeway. And I was like, I don't want to pay for the freeway tolls, they're too expensive. So I tried to like navigate my own way, and turns out none of the roads there go anywhere, because it's the bit between like the mountains and the coastline, so there's really only like the freeway and this one other road that goes in the direction that I need to go. So I ended up lost for a little while, and that was okay. And then yeah, today I found, like, you can see, right, how cool is this view? I'm like right by the Mediterranean Sea. And I pulled out my compass before. I'm a bit of a geek. I'm very excited because the sun like should rise like right there on the tip of the thing, and I'll be like, yes. That'll be exciting. But finding this spot was quite weird. I was like just following the coastline, like looking for somewhere to park up. It's been really difficult actually finding places in this area, because it's so densely populated and there's no like empty areas. But I like got to this tunnel, which like on my map I was supposed to go through, but there was like a red light and a timer on it. It was counting down from like 15 minutes, and I was like, what's going on? So I'm like, I've got a while, I guess, because nothing was happening. I was like in a queue of cars waiting in front of this tunnel. So I like typed in what the sign said into Google Translate, and I mean, I'd started to work it out just by typing it in, but I was like, oh, okay. So there's like, this tunnel goes for really long and it's really old, and there's a red light at each end. There's only like space for one car, just like this van only just fit through it. And so the lights like have to let everyone from one side. It's like a 10-minute drive through the tunnel. So everyone from one side to the other side, and then they have to be out, and then you come back in. And I was like, oh my God. And then on the map, there's like little gaps in the tunnel along the way, along the coastline. And this spot was in one of those gaps. So I'm like going through this tunnel, and it's really small and like not scary, but it was like very strange and intense, and it was all rocky. And then there's a little gap, and there's a little arrow like with a little like picnic table thing. I was like, okay. And then I pulled out, and it's like right here. It's beautiful. There we go. That's what I've done for the last few days. Sorry I missed like a big section, but it doesn't matter. I just did things, and I was very distracted because I was with someone else. But now I'm on my own, so I've got nothing else to do. All right. Oh my God. Okay, I need to mention this. I knew there was something I'd forgotten. I got attacked by a warthog. Not really attacked, but like threatened, I'm gonna say, on my first night in the national park in France, like a few nights ago. I'm cooking like this like pre-made ravioli. I'm like la-di-da-di-da. And then I heard like rustling in the bushes, and I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, it's obviously an animal. And I was like, what could it be? I'm like, it's probably a deer, right? Like there's nothing scary in the forest around there. And I was like, I had a quick look online as soon as I heard it, because I was like, make sure this is not like a bear zone or something like that. I was like, whatever, it's a deer. And then it was rustling around, and I was just enjoying myself. I turned off my music though, because I wanted to hear it just in case it came a bit close, because it was very dark. And then there was a horrible sound. It sounded like a screaming child, which turned out to be more of like a squeal, because it was a warthog. So I get my like phone, and I like put on the light, and I shine it into the bushes, and I'm like, and then I got the eyes in the thing, and it just stopped. And I was like, I started like making, I guess like cougar sounds, hoping that would scare it. Did not work. It just kind of stared at me, and then like it walked off in that direction. I was like, okay, I could still hear it. And I was like, maybe I should pack up my stuff. I was like, no, I'm just going to finish eating first. And then I hear another sound behind me. I'm like, ah! And I pull out my phone, and the same thing, the like two eyes. And then my first instinct is, I've been surrounded by warthogs. And I don't think I'd realized that it was warthogs by this stage. I'm like, I've been surrounded. What the fuck is going on? And then I realized it was just the same animal. He'd just moved around, but he was coming closer. And then at some point I pieced together that it was a warthog, and I was like, I don't think he can kill me, but I don't want to risk it. So I was like, bye bye. And I got inside the van and finished my dinner. Yeah. So that's what's been happening. Tomorrow I'm off to Prato, where I studied I did a summer semester in university there. So I've got a couple of people I'm going to meet up with, which is very exciting. That'll be cool. And then I'm heading to Perugia to meet Mattia, my old roommate from New York. So that should be fun. All right, I'll check in with you guys soon.